Grade 6, Subject Science, Chapter 5, Separation of Substances, Module 4. Objectives. At the end of the session, you will be able to acquire knowledge about saturated and unsaturated solution, effect of heat on saturated solution. Let us move. Solutions. How can we prepare a solution? Yes, we can prepare a solution by adding a substance to a liquid. If we want to make a salt solution, we can add some salt to water and stir it. We will get salt solution. And solutions are of two types, saturated solution and unsaturated solution. In our last class, I have told you to do an activity to find out how much spoons of salt you can dissolve in a glass of water. You might have noticed that after a point, you cannot dissolve more salt in it. That solution is called saturated solution. If we can dissolve more substance in a liquid, we call it unsaturated solution, and if we cannot dissolve more substance in a solution, we call it saturated solution. Let us watch a pictorial representation of it. Unsaturated solution and saturated solution. Take a beaker with water, add some salt to it. We can call it unsaturated solution because it is dissolving. The substance is dissolving. A solution which can dissolve more quantity of a given substance is called unsaturated. Then we add more salt to it, but we are not able to dissolve it. So we call it saturated solution. A solution which cannot dissolve any more quantity of a given substance in it is said to be saturated. So that is saturated solution. So we can sum up as a solution is said to be saturated if it cannot dissolve more of the substance in it. And let us check if we can dissolve, or is there any idea or technique we can dissolve more substance in a saturated solution. Let us watch one more pictorial representation. We are taking a saturated solution, add some, suppose it is salt solution, add some salt to it, heat it. Please watch what happens. Yes, that salt is dissolved. That means heat can dissolve more salt in it. Let it be cooled. Please watch what happens. The salt came back. So we can see that heat can dissolve more substance in a saturated solution, or larger quantity of a substance can be dissolved in a water or in water by heating. So let us sum up. More of a substance can be dissolved in a solution by heating it. And also, when we do an experiment with salt and sugar and taking 2 glasses of water, adding salt and sugar to it, we can see that we can dissolve different amount of salt and sugar in them. That means water dissolves different amount of soluble substances in it. That's all. We finished up our chapter. Let us just sum up or revise what we studied in this chapter. Hand picking, threshing, winnowing, sieving, sedimentation, decantation and filtration are some of the methods of separating substances from their mixtures. Husk and stones can be separated from grains by hand picking. Husk is separated from heavier seeds of grain by winnowing. Difference in the size of particles in a mixture is utilized to separate them by the process of sieving and filtration. In a mixture of sand and water, the heavier sand particles settle down at the bottom and the water can be separated by decantation. Filtration can be used to separate components of a mixture of an insoluble liquid and a solid. Evaporation is the process in which a liquid gets converted into its vapor. Evaporation can be used to separate a solid dissolved in a liquid, for example, mixture of salt and water. A saturated solution is one in which no more of that substance can be dissolved. More of a substance can be dissolved in a solution by heating it. And lastly, water dissolves different amount of soluble substances in it. So dears, we finished up our chapter. It's very simple chapter and study well. Be prepared for a unit test. Thank you. Have a nice day.